Good morning and welcome in, everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I want to go over a quick overview of what we can see transpiring to start this new trading week. Now that the ETFs and everything are open, we are seeing, well, first of all, for the 10th straight weekend, we see red on Sunday into Monday, and it was a red weekend once again. We've seen a ultra level of manipulation when it comes to Ethereum. As we can see, Ethereum dived, and then as they were transferring some of the funds supposedly back, Ethereum pumped over the weekend back to where it was at. And now, no surprise, going into Sunday, and now Monday morning, Ethereum dives by almost 5%. So we had the big drop, the artificial insemination, and now another rug pull, it looks like this morning. So we've created from back here, we're at a low, higher low, higher low. Can we continue this higher low trajectory? Who knows? But this looks like a bit of a rising channel here after a while. So we'll see what the market has in turn for us today. But this is not the great start. This is just, yet again, I was convinced on Friday and Saturday when we were doing lives that we were going to dump on Sunday. And unfortunately, Sunday into Monday, now we can see this dump. As far as levels for anybody, because we're going to deal with XRP this morning. We talked about a very critical level yesterday that if we lost, it could be brutal. And we lost that $2.50 mark. So now we need to, in a very quick fashion, get back on top of this. Otherwise, now we start to create this. And this is where it's going to get interesting. Now we start creating something like this. And it's one of those things like, are we falling through here? Or are we going to end up holding and be able to push back? To me, with the level of manipulation, as we've talked about for the past several weeks, we've got to pay attention to if this is a right shoulder or not. Because although we haven't created a 5 wave yet, we have to make sure that this isn't a right shoulder. And the problem is, even if it is not a right shoulder, you could still theoretically come all the way back down to that area down there. But you really don't want to. So we'll go over this morning, and I got to get my son to school at 8:20 a.m. today. So we got to leave here by 8:20 a.m. So I got to get this update out. We've got about a nice 10 to 12 minutes that we can talk. We'll go over what I'm seeing, and then the good and the bad. So with that being said, good morning. 7:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, February 24th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So the big deal right now is the fact that we just can't get any momentum. And there seems to be an ultra level of manipulation here that is starting to go a little out of control. So when this kind of stuff happens, we have to take a serious look at, are we going to get that last wave here? Is this part of the deal? Is this part of the plan to get us to kind of lose sight? Because if you look at it from a grand scale, there's many ways to look at this pattern, but that little channel that it's in is starting to take an overriding effect. And we can see the bottom of this channel right now is all the way down at $2.17. And that's the risk you run when you fall out of that $2.50 we talked about yesterday. Like, you did not want to lose that. Now, there is still a nice inverse head and shoulders set up there. There's no doubt about that. And this pattern has not gone to die yet. It's just we have to look at it with what it's given us. Like, this is what we failed to break outside of. We had a symmetrical triangle. We're still very much within it. But remember, if we're going to play the symmetrical triangle angle, that means the support is all the way down there at $1.93 if we fall out. So there are significant consolidations that can happen, not just in XRP, but in the crypto market as a whole. Now, we're hoping to maintain this level of consolidation. Because if you fall outside of this, that's when you can get a serious drop. And I know some of you know we've got areas of gap concerns, that if we did fall out, we could definitely go retouch. So this is unfortunately what we were afraid of going into Friday. And then by the time we came back Monday morning, this is what we were fearing, that we were going to have another drop. And now for 10 weekends in a row, that means for the last 2.5 months straight, either on Saturday or Sunday into Monday, typically, we had a very red dump across the market. And this isn't just, XRP's down 3.8%. You've got everything. The only thing that reversed now, and it gives me hope, a real hope that this is what's starting to happen is HBAR. And HBAR, you can see it was on this long-standing descending wedge. Now, we've had some that have given us the fake out, and then it just comes right back down. So hopefully this is a good sign that HBAR is starting to break out here. It's the anomaly right now, up about 5%. I know T-Fuel was up a little bit as well. But this is up about 5%. We bounced perfectly off of the breakout of the descending wedge area. So we'll see if this is the start of something or if this is just some more white noise in the background and it comes down with the rest of the market. Or if the market's getting ready to reverse. That's the hopes here with the ETF. And that we're coming back online, that because we dumped coming into the morning, that now we'll have a sudden shift at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time when the U.S. wakes up. Typically, if it's pumping coming into the day, it'll start dropping. Conversely, if you get a big dump overnight, generally it starts to work itself out around that time. So we'll see if HBAR is a sign of what's to come. Because like I said, HBAR is up 5.4%. It's the only one I could really point at that is an anomaly right now, which is good because we're on the outside of this breakout attempt. And if this pans out, I mean, you're talking about a major rally here. But as we've seen with many others, it will start to have the rally hit the 200-day in the short term and just reverse right down. So that's what we have to watch to see if that happens. But right now, I'm very happy that it's up 6%. I can't really think of anything else besides T-Fuel that's actually up. Yeah, I mean, I really don't see much besides that. I mean, we've got the commodities as far as like gold's up. Let's see, to start the day, $11 to 2,946, closing in on an all-time high. And then silver's up about 1/3 of 1% right now. Commodities, hit or miss right now. 1 or 2% up. B2 gold's down about 1/3 of 1%. But as far as across the market, it's pretty shaky. Let's see. Let's see where Bitcoin's at. Down $477. Still on the outside of this breakout attempt. That's the obvious here, because I still think that the market is primed for a reversal back up. I just think there's a serious amount of manipulation going on here. And if you guys are interested, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, we'll go through the live for an hour. We'll get through the heat liquidation maps tonight, because I'm not going to do it now. We'll go through the news and notes in the live. So it'll be a lot more than just the charts in the live. So if you're coming in here and watching and like, oh, we're only doing the charts in the morning, turn in the live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time daily. And we will definitely cover the liquidation levels, the heat map between Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP and so many more. We'll cover other cryptos and we'll go through the news and notes of XRP and around the market. That's when I like to go through the crypto liquidations and all that kind of good stuff. So a lot of stuff to be done later, but we still got to get through a lot today. So remember, with XRP, right now, the immediate movement that needs to happen, and we can break this down into the short term. Yes, you can look at it like that, but I have it a little easier. Right here, we got to get back on top of 260 or 250, and then back on top of this 260 area and start breaking out. We got to get above $2.60 to start this breakout. So anything short of that, we're stuck in this expansion phase. If we stay in this area, it's okay because this is the extension area, but we don't want to drop through it, because then you could come all the way back down to what could be perceived as a symmetrical triangle in the short term. But in the longer term, we can still see we have a clear broadening wedge. I think it's pretty obvious here. Well, this is supposed to be like this, but I think it's pretty obvious there's a broadening wedge right there. So that's what I'm looking at for XRP. That's what we've got to get outside of for XRP. And like for Bitcoin, we're still consolidating. We're on the breakout of a symmetrical triangle. We've already back tested it, but we are down $500 on the day. And, it can make it interesting. Now, how far could it come down to still hold? Well, again, we don't really want to keep coming back down here, but if it does, theoretically, come all the way back down to 93,000 and hold that area. So that's basically what we're seeing this morning. Then when we get into the XRP Bitcoin pairing, we're down 3.33% to the 0.00002588. For anybody who was part of it on the weekend, we talked about if this fell out, we could come all the way back down and retest down around that 2422 area, even if it slid all the way down, but it absolutely fell out right now. So now we would have to pick this back up. But I mean, if you look at it with the new evidence, it fell out or did it? You know, like when you start to look at the new evidence that forms day by day, and then you start to reevaluate, we definitely have something like that we could do. So, I mean, it definitely could be a bull flag or some kind of flagpole that's set up here. Something like that. And you can see this level of inversion. So this looks like it could be a sneaky inverse head and shoulders here. And it looks like this in more than just XRP Bitcoin pairing. It looks like this in the XRP chart and so many other things as well. To where it makes you feel like we're about to have a bounce here. And it makes the market look like an imminent bounce is coming despite how bearish it looks. I'm hoping that HBAR is not just an anomaly right now and it's actually showing us something. Because HBAR was getting hammered over the weekend. And now all of a sudden here on Monday morning, it's been great to see. Because yesterday we were at 22, came all the way back down. Or from Saturday, from 22, came down to 20, and now we've powered through. And we got a nice surge of volume here too. So you're looking for volume to confirm breakout. So I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I hope this update helps. If you're looking to trade crypto, make sure you go to my homepage on YouTube or in my video description below and or pinned comments in the update video below. And BITUNIX is my most trusted and preferred, lowest spot and leverage trading fees, lowest maker taker if you are a leverage trader. And there's a lot of opportunities there. I often will buy and sell on there, and then I'll send over my residuals or what I'm going to use to buy stuff to another exchange. But it saves me in the fees on buying and selling. There's so many other ways that you can trade. Just look on here. Be cautious with HOTCOIN. There is a lot of things you can do on there that you can't do on other places. But I have liquidity concerns and things like that, so I have very little money on there as of now. So just pay attention many different ways. You can donate through Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Most importantly, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the channel. Join the over 31,200 subscribers. Like this update so that we can push this through the algorithm. And make sure to share this on social media. Stay emotionless. We are going through a pretty weird time right now. I have a feeling that we could be starting a market reversal based on what HBAR is doing. But at the same time, HBAR didn't fall out as some of these other ones have. So we have to see if we can... Actually, you know what? I don't even want to say they fell out. You know why? Because the way it did this, I think this could be a trap. A bear trap right now. It's just the way that this did this. It almost seems like a bear trap in a sense. So we'll see. It's more like this. But it looks like it could be in a bear trap. Like this pattern hasn't broken down yet. So I would still be optimistic here. Unless it breaks down. The only way I'm not going to be as optimistic is if we lose $2.40 and then it goes straight to the bottom. So as most of the market's diving, HBAR is up almost 7%. So we'll see if this is an anomaly or something more. Have a blessed day, everybody. But I got to get my son to school.